On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what one. A blessed and wonderful Friday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, you don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in a Jamaica. So watch your snow, my peeps, to the name of Friday, the day when Mr. Smile smile upon some of the ones and ones them pocket. So while it's out there traversing these streets from Moran Point to Negril Point, as always, my peeps, safe travel, pan the gravel, and continuously look out on the corner, yai Kazwa, the old dirty corner boy them, always out there, alerts, yeah man. So in the morning, my peeps, we're gonna kick it off with some news and updates from out Uncle Sam, yeah man, where the top dan, the top boss for the infamous Darcsyde gang from out of the Kingston Central Police Division has found himself behind bars. Me telling you, you know, say just time, because nobody feel like say Uno can be infamous and reputed in a certain type of way in Jamaica. And when uno land in a Uncle Sam now put FBI for start watching you keenly for make sure say uno walk the straight and narrow. But uno not learn. So right now, skin a figure burn. Yeah man. So Marious Alonzo Davis, otherwise known as Bredda Dawg, who is most definitely one of the top tier members in the infamous Darcsyde gang, is presently behind bars. He is booked in the Richmond County Jail in Virginia for narcotics possession with intent to sell and distribute, among other charges. And also one of his accomplices get catched too and is locked away in the Richmond County Jail in Virginia. Also, we are talking about this criminal element presently on your screen, who is said to be his brother-in-law, identified as Ian Rapley, but them call him Bully in our streets. Well, I hope him can prove him bulliness in the lockups, because trust and believe, jail yard and jail abroad are two totally different things. So make we see if him can bully him way through this one here. And if convicted, them a look pan a minimum of 10 years and a maximum of life. Yeah man. So a serious business are going right so. So On The Spot News Media will most definitely be keeping tabs on this one and update you subsequently. So in a way, back to local style. Now the first thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is that Your Honor handed down a life imprisonment sentence to a crossmite who take the life of an elderly man in Spanish Town. Boy, may I tell you, the thing rough. Now the crossmite in question has since been identified as Sudeen Green, who pleaded guilty to the 2017 fatality of an elderly man whose body was found wrapped in a comforter near his home in Spanish Town. She was yesterday handed down a life in prison sentence in the St. Catherine Circuit Court. So the female was ordered by Justice Bertram Morrison to serve a minimum of 15 years before being eligible for parole. The deceased man 74 years old at the time, Fitz Albert Barnes of a Young Street address in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, was hit with a hammer during an altercation with the woman. It is said that his body was then disposed of. So in handing down the sentence, the judge indicated that when all factors were considered, the aggravated circumstances of the case outweighed the mitigating ones. He stated that a sentence had to be imposed which would shock the public. And it really did shock the public still. Because 15 years for that, you should have get 35. Easy. So he stated that having taken all into consideration, it's 15 years imprisonment. The facts are that on May 23rd, 2017, the female visited the complainant's dwelling and a dispute developed which turned physical. It is said that the female then used a hammer to strike Mr. Barnes in the head. Barnes' body and his head bashed in with multiple knife-up wounds was found dumped near his home. The Spanish Town Criminal Investigation Branch launched a probe which resulted in the arrest and subsequent charge of the female. She made numerous court appearances and pleaded guilty to the fatality on February 25, 2025. She was represented by attorney at law, Althea Grant. You know, say she did plead guilty from 2017. She would have bounced off one easy 8 years or almost 8 years out of the 15. She not no sense. She literally just make it start run. Boy, may I tell you, it's rough. But anyway, make we continue. Now, the next thing that we are going to talk about is coming out of the St. Mary Police Division, where the St. Mary Police them put on a decent spot of work and seized over 1,000 rounds of assorted ammunition on Thursday. The seizure was made during a targeted police operation in the community of Devon Pen in Castleton, St. Mary. So now we're going to hear from the man in charge of the St. Mary Police Division. We are talking about Deputy Superintendent of Police, Anthony Wallace, as he weighs in on this latest find. Now listen.
On Thursday, April 10th, between the hours of 7:50 a.m. and 12:30 p.m., acting in intelligence, a team of police officers executed a targeted operation in the Castleton police area in St. Mary, which led to the seizure of over 1,000 rounds of assorted ammunition and several firearm parts. The discovery was made in an abandoned 4-bedroom house in the Devon Pen area, where the items were concealed in bags. This is a significant breakthrough in our ongoing fight against illegal weapons in the parish. We continue to urge residents to share information by calling the Portmore Police at 876-333-9530 or 876-994-4222 or Crime Stop at 311.
So among the rounds seized is 591 rounds of 12 gauge cartridges, 318.38 rounds of ammunition, 78 live 9mm rounds and 2 spent casings, 76 rounds of .45 ammunition, 11 rounds of 5.56 rounds of ammunition, 7 rounds of 7.62, 4 rounds of .22, 1 round of .303, and 9 firearm magazines. So no know say gun the boat for all of them rounds there. You have 591 12 gauge cartridges, so you know say a shot it there. Whole heap of spinners there that are for the 38. Some 4.5 Magnum about the place there too. 5.56 are for the M16 or any form of AR-15. 7.62, you know say the AK-47 them there. Yeah man, so a serious business are going right there, so Castleton definitely need an immediate shake up. Yeah, man. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is that the police them has officially laid charges on this man presently on your screen in happier days with his wife that is now deceased. So the husband in this particular picture, I made mention of him in a recent vlog where a domestic dispute between him and his wife and him end up take fear life. Now he has been officially charged by the police. So charged is 39-year-old Chef Henry Williams, and he has been charged with the fatality of his wife and also arson because he set ablaze their home. So according to the police, sometime around 12:20 a.m. in the wee hours of Tuesday morning, April 8th, the man got into a dispute with his wife and allegedly used a knife to bust her throat wide open and fling whole heap of tab in the woman's chest plate. And it is said that he then set the house ablaze with the wife, whole heap of red substance a leak out her body and their children crying over her then lifeless body. Curious onlookers and of course the neighbors rushed to the scene and rescued them from the blaze. The woman was reportedly taken to the hospital, but unfortunately she lost her life. The police and fire department were alerted and the fire department extinguished the fire. Cooling down operations were conducted and the woman's body was later taken to the morgue, as I stated earlier, after the hospital thing. And they stated that pending post-mortem, them would determine the exact cause of her loss of life. Later that day, the husband turned himself over to the police, where he was interviewed and gave a caution statement, and then he was later charged. And it is said that he's set to appear in court for the first time on Thursday, April 17th. So my youth, you make the ego again get the best of you. Now your kids are motherless and fatherless. Them are not even half fan, right? And now you turn them in a full fan. Yeah, man, the thing rough. Now over there in the parish of Manchester, another ego-driven male end up lose him 3 pints. It is said that this man presently on your screen had a verbal turn physical altercation with his spouse, who is also presently on your screen. It is said that he used a machete to inflict several wounds all over the woman's body. Then in a bid to escape what is to come from a legal standpoint, him feels that the woman dead and go drink some Gramazone and pronounce, but guess what happened? The female survived the brutal onslaught. She is not out of harm's way, but she is hanging on to life in the Manchester Regional General Public Hospital. Boy, may I tell you, the ego is a hell of a thing. More time we need as men for restrain ourselves, and more time also you females need to restrain your tongues, because whilst you can beat a male verbally, morally, emotionally, you can beat him bad, guess what? Him can beat you bad physically. So we need to understand the vital roles that we play, and nobody feel like say words are just words, or feel like say the lick where you put on can cool off. We need to understand each other and just restrain ourselves, whether it be verbally or physically so. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is coming out of the St. James Police Division, where this 9mm pistol and a magazine containing 2 live 9mm rounds was seized in Rose Heights in St. James on Tuesday, April 8th. Reports from the Montego Bay Police would suggest that sometime around 1:50 p.m. an operation was conducted at an address in the community, during which the firearm was found hidden in an old stove in the yard. No arrest was made in connection with that particular seizure. So right there and then, another decent spot of work again by the squaddy them. Yeah, man. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled Hanover Police Division, which has also seen a downward trend in fatalities and major crimes on a whole. The Hanover Police stated that they have seized this firearm during a joint police-military operation conducted on a targeted premises in Orange Bay, Hanover, which yield the significant results of this weapon and 70 lead sheets. The weapons in question is one Bursa Thunder 9mm pistol loaded with 2 9mm rounds of ammunition, one Diamondback rifle loaded with 17 rounds of 5.56 ammunition, one Dominican Republic driver's license, several overseas debit cards, and various cleaning agents. So the Hanover Police states that they remain resolute in their commitment to dismantling criminal networks and ensuring the safety of the general public. And still in the Hanover Police Division, the Hanover Police is stating that Hanover's fatalities are definitely attributed to gang violence. So the commanding officer of the Hanover Police Division, that's Superintendent Andrew Nish, says that the 4 fatalities recorded in the parish since the start of the year are gang-related fatal knockings and clappings. So as at April 5th, Hanover has recorded 4 fatalities compared to 10 for the corresponding period last year. And this represents a 60% decline. So now we're going to hear from Superintendent Nish, who says that 3 of the 4 homicides occurred in the Green Island policing area. Now listen.
The most recent incident took place in the Orange Bay area on March 27, 2025. In response to this surge in violent crimes, we have intensified our operational activities under Operation Secure Future, a strategic initiative targeting active violent gangs and their members within the space. Intelligence suggests that the recent act of violence are linked to the Schemas gang. As a result, a joint police-military team conducted an operation in the Orange Bay community. The seizure of a Bursa Thunder 9mm pistol loaded with 2 9mm rounds, a Diamondback 5.56 rifle loaded with 17 5.56 rounds, several overseas debit cards, and 70 lead sheets with information of persons living overseas. The Hanover Division remained resolute in our commitment in dismantling violent criminal networks and ensuring the safety and security of our communities. We will not relent in our efforts to pursue and bring to justice those who threaten public safety and public order.
So right there and then, another decent spot of work again by the squaddy them. Yeah, man. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.